Good evening, everyone. So welcome to day 4 of our Power BI webinar, our Business Analytics and Insights with Power BI webinar. So today, we are going to cover these basic things. We are going to do our sales visualization, sales and revenue visualization, and we are going to write some time intelligence functions with DAX. So before I continue, please, if you can hear me, just type 1 so that I can know that you can hear me before we continue. Okay, you can hear me. So let's continue. So after our sales and revenue visualization and some DAX function, we will look at some advanced visualization features like tooltips, drill through, page navigation, and visual interaction, then slicers. Then we'll also look at financial simulation if we have time today. So if we have time today, we'll do some things regarding financial simulation, then we'll complete it tomorrow. So another thing about on advanced visualization that I forgot to put here is actually using external visuals. We are going to see all of those first today. So before we go ahead, so this is the visualization we did yesterday on expenses. So if you want to interact, with visualization, you can interact with it. For example, you want to see salaries. You can click on salaries on this visual, interact with everything, even your comments. It's super dynamic. But this is salaries. Then if I want to look at IT expenses, I click on IT expenses. I see the trend. I see the total for the year versus budget. Then I also see IT expenses for the quarter, for the quarter for the year. So that is the last quarter of the year. For quarter by quarter, sorry, that is the IT expenses quarter by quarter. So it's interactive. If I also come here to the first chart, let me unclick this. If I come to the first chart and click quarter 4, so everything I'm seeing will be that of quarter 4. So it's very, very interactive all through. But again, you can change this interactivity. For example, this interaction is showing it as a highlight. It's just showing some part of it, showing it as a highlight. You can do the interaction in such a way that when you click on quarter 4, all you'll be seeing here is the figures of quarter 4. You won't see any highlight here. You'll just be seeing the full chart as quarter 4. To do that, we just need to go to format. I think it's in format, and you format the chart. Then you go to edit interactions. You click on edit interactions on format. So you see this kind of things on your screen. So you want to edit the interaction with this. Here is showing highlights. Instead of highlights, I want it to filter it completely. I click on filter. Yeah. So here, instead of highlight, I don't want to see January till September. I just want to see October to December once I select quarter 4. So instead of highlights, I make it filter. So just see those 3 months. So this, after doing all that, you can come here, and even here to interact with itself as well, it will come out as a filter, obviously. So you will click on edit interactions, but just to wipe out the whole thing. So when I come and click on quarter 2, so it will show me everything limited to quarter 2. That is how this edit. Quarter 4, only quarter 4. Quarter 3, only quarter 3, July, September. So all this, it just filters everything out, and it won't show you anything highlighted. So if I select everything, if I click out to select everything, I see all the months in the year. So now, let's quickly move to our sales and revenue. Let's write some measures that we want to see on our sales. So I think we wrote some measures already. We wrote like 4 of them. We wrote like cost price, items sold, revenue generated, and sales amount. So now we are going to use another methodology today. So as we are visualizing, we are writing measures. The first visual that we are going to show is a monthly trend of sales. It's a monthly trend of sales. So all we just have to do is to come, we'll use line chart. No, I said today that we are going to use line chart a whole lot today. We take our line chart, just click on it. So just resize and bring item sold, bring it to the values. Then I come to my calendar table, take my month, bring my month to the axis. So that will give me the monthly trend of items sold. So in our usual manner, just to make the chart fit what we want, instead of using this line graph, let's use area chart. So area chart. Then we remove our background, the background as usual, just to make it fit into the entire situation. We take out the background. Then our y-axis as well. So we take the y-axis off. So come to our axis. So y-axis. We take the grid lines off first. Our normal process of yesterday. So just come take the title off. Then take the grid lines off. Then we off the entire y-axis. Now we come to our x-axis. The color, we change it to white so that it's visible for us to see. Then our axis title for x-axis, we take it off as well. Axis title, we take it off. We just adjust this chart to align to where we want it to be. Then our, what is this called? Items, so the title itself of the chart, we take it off. Just off it. So this is showing us the monthly sales trend. So the same thing, we will do the same thing for sales value, and that is value of sales and revenues. So let's just copy this chart that we formatted. Let's copy it. Control C, Control V, spaced here, then Control V again, just paste here. So for this one, we take out items sold and bring in sales amount. So for this, we take out items sold and bring in revenue. This is showing us 3 different measures for our charts. So for here, we can decide to change our data labels. So let's come to this format, data color, sorry. We change the data colors to, let's say, yellow, so that it just flows with our background. Really beautiful. So the next thing to do now is, I want to just show you how to use an external visual. These are all the visuals available on Power BI here, but you can actually get external visuals. You can either get from file, or you can get from a file, or you can get from the store. Yeah. So now the visual we are going to get now is you can see, you can get more visual. You can import from a file. You can remove a visual, so, and you can just get more visual. This will take you directly to the store. But now I want to get a visual from file. So I'm going to click on import visual from file. So it gives you this security message or so. You just bypass that. So I go to my icons. I think I have it here. So this is my liquid fill gauge. That is my external visual. I click on OK. So you see the visual was successfully imported into this report. So great. So this is the visual right here. So now I want to show, what I want to use this visual to show is value versus budget, sales versus budget, revenue versus budget, and or target, and item sold versus target. That's what I want to show you this. But here we don't have measures for target yet, so we are going to create them. We are going to create those measures. So now let's create one measure, create new measure. We call this sales. We call this sales budget. So we are summing our revenue. We are taking it from revenue table. Taking it from revenue table, item sold. I think that is for item sold. Item sold. Or let me, instead of calling this sales, okay, let me leave it as sales. Sales budget. Then I do another calculation. I call this sales value. Sales value budget. So that is equal to sum of revenue budget. This item sold. That's what we did before. Okay, this is sales value budget. So pick sales value budget. So the next one we are going to create again is called revenue budget. Revenue budget. That is equal to sum. So revenue, type in revenue so that table can come up. Pick revenue budget. So yes, after these calculations, the next thing is to say what is the percentage of items versus targets. That is items sold over target. So let's just get that percentage. It's new measure. We call this percentage actual items V budget. And that will be equal to, we use our square bracket as usual to call up our measures. So what measure are we looking for? We are looking for sale value. We are looking for sales amount. No, sales, that item sold, sorry. This for item sold. Looking for item sold over sale budget. That is item sold budget. This is it. So we take another one. We can even copy this formula, or if we don't want to, then we new measure, go to new measure again. Then we call this percentage actual sales amount, sales AMT V budget. That is equal to sales amount over, let us call up our square bracket, square sale value budget. So we enter. That is another measure. Then the third measure, so new measure, will be revenue V budget. That is, we call this percentage actual rev, let's just call it rev V budget. So that will be equal to revenue over revenue budget. Call it up, enter. So then in our usual manner, let's just go to our model, pick those three measures. So hold control, pick these three measures, come down here, our format, we make it decimal, make it, what is that here? Decimal number, then we'll on it as percentage format, we'll put it on. Let's just make the decimal one decimal place. So, and it should show as percentage. So we just format these three of them at once. Now, let's now show what we are doing versus budget using our liquid fill gauge. I bring the liquid fill gauge. This is the visual right here. Then I take, this is my item sold. Come here, actual items was budgets. I put that there. So you can see it fills it up. It says it's 0.8%. I just do some formatting around this chart as usual. I take off the title, then I remove the background, right? Then it's showing 0.8%. It's not supposed to be 0.8%. It's supposed to be maybe 80% or something. Then I come to my text. So let me come to minimum value 0, maximum 100 here, which is correct. So I come down here, display percentage sign yet, calculate percentage. So I on this to calculate the percentage, and I multiply this value by 100. So it brings up the percentage value. So it brings it up here. So I can also change the color of my circle. Let me say this circle by the side. So let me say I change it to white, for instance. So you can change it to any color you want. So the text color, let me make the text color white. Then the wave color, that is this, the wave is what is inside. So let me change the wave color to, let's say, maybe a very dark blue. So that's this very dark blue. So I come to the next one, wave again. I change it to, let me change this to white and see what it does. No, I don't want it white. I want it as dark blue. I want wave as dark blue. Then I come to where my text is not showing anymore. Then there is where I can just change that text to I think this is this place. Let me go down a bit. I want it to show very well. So okay, let me just go and remove that wave. Let me make it a lighter color so that our value can show. Okay. So apart, this is how liquid fill gauge looks like. Now I will use this same gauge for these remaining measures. So let me put my text box first. I call this what would I call this? Sales item sold versus target. So item sold versus target. I remove the background as well. Just bring it in here. Okay, click on it. Bring it in here. Item sold versus target. So I Control A to highlight everything, then change to white so I can show properly. Okay, let me just make this a little bit smaller. The liquid fill gauge a little bit smaller. Move it down here a bit. Move it down here a bit. Okay. Nice. So this, I take this up to this point. I also want to include my total sales count. So I'll do that with a card. So instead of me formatting another card again, I can just go to my expenses, and copy one card from there. So let me take this card, for instance. Copy this card. Put it here. So I put it here. Okay. I bring this here as well. Maybe let me just remove it. Maybe I'll make the size, make it more smaller. Make it smaller. So for this one, I'm just going to show my items, actual items sold here. So 7.3 million items, but I want to show it as an actual. So I'll just make it, I just take this, change this display unit under data label to none. In decimal places, I make it 0. So yeah. Sorry. And then I can come back to this, my actual items. It seems that this I didn't format it correctly. Then I can just format it here. Format it here. Then it shows on the chart. Yeah. So I've showed this visualization now is for items sold. So let me take these 3 items here. Yeah, this header. Just copy this and put it on the next one. So shift it to the next one. So this is just to make us very efficient instead of doing it all over again. So and another one again. Bring it here. So now I can decide to highlight everything here, then group them. Highlight everything, then come to format, then group them here. So that no matter where I decide to shift them to, I will not separate the charts and the orientation. So for this one also, this is what is this showing? This is showing sales amount. So I just call this sales amount versus target. Amount versus target. I capitalize this word. So this one, I bring up my sales amount for the full year. This cost by sales amount. Bring it here. So for this, I can decide to change it to millions. So data label, so display units, I make it millions. So and since it's in millions, I just make it 2 decimal place. For this, I just need to change the measure from actual items versus budget to actual sales versus budget. So percentage of actual versus budget. So it shows me as well. Maybe I can decide to change the, let me see. Okay, wave text color. Let me make wave text color white here. Yes. And let me go here and make the wave, maybe the wave deep yellow, something like that, or a yellow that I think that's fine. So here, that is what I was not doing right here. Come back here, make for text, make the text wave color white, and change the wave to a darker blue. Okay, okay, we have it there. Then this third one, this is revenue versus target. This is revenue versus target. So this card, you can decide to take this card out of here and bring this one that I've already formatted. Bring it here. So it's just to make us as efficient as possible, you know. So I bring it here. I change this one from sales amount to revenue. Then this particular chart to revenue, actual revenue, percentage actual revenue versus budget. So that gives me this. So I can decide to group them as well. Just highlight all this. Sorry, I just highlight it. Come to my format and then group. Format, then group. Same thing here. Just take a highlight of everything. Come to format, then group. So now, the next thing we are going to show now, we are going to show a scatter plot that relates items sold to actual sales revenue. Let's see if there's a correlation between number of items sold and the revenue. And we are going to show it by sales people. Yeah, by sales people. So we'll bring a scatter plot here. This is scatter plot. Scatter plot. Let's bring it down here. Then on our y-axis will be our items sold. Then x-axis will be the percentage revenue versus target, or let's just do another measure that just to show gross margin. I think it makes more sense to compare gross margin to items sold. So what is gross margin? So gross margin is the revenue we made over the cost of the item. So that will give us our gross margin from the sale of that particular item. So gross margin equal to, okay, let's call up our square brackets, revenue over cost price. That's our gross margin, and it's in percentage. Okay. Okay. We bring this gross margin to the x-axis. So this shows gross margin versus sales. Then we bring we do it by sales staff. You can either decide to do it by sales staff or decide to do it by product. I think we should do it by product so that you can see for each product what is the gross margin. So let's pick up product, not item ID. Let's see product category. Let's put it on our details. We'll see. Okay. So you can see all the products. You can see them by their gross margin. For example, this particular product in this area has the gross margin is less than 500%. So while this particular product around this side has gross margin over 1000%. I'm not sure if that's possible in real life, but this is just a simulated data. So it's not a real life data. So instead of showing just few products, we can decide to show it by item ID, for instance. Let's say item ID. So we'll have many more. We can now sieve by product to see which products are distributed along this margin. We can even see some with gross margin of 10,000%. So I'm not sure that is achievable in life. So now, for just to make this chart more beautiful, and in our size, let's see our size. There's another place called size. Now size, let's see, we put per item, we put the sales, let's say the revenue. Let's put the revenue there on the size. So it shows the bigger the size, that is the higher the revenue from that product. So that's just what this is showing us. So we come to our format as usual. We take out our background. We take it out. We take out the background. And we go to our x-axis. Come to our x-axis. There are various ways to do formatting here. We come to our x-axis. We come down here and show these grid lines. You know, we normally, sorry, normally take it off for other charts, but we won't take it off from here. Instead of dotted for the grid lines, we change it to solid. Yeah. So I'll change the color to white. Sorry. So we come to our y-axis. Let's go up, come to the y-axis. We do the same thing. So we'll come to our grid lines. So on it, we make it white. Then we change the stroke from the line style from dotted to solid, right? So it shows the separation distinctly. So the next thing we will do is to change all to change the colors in our chart. X-axis, we change the color to white. Y-axis also, we change it to white. Then what again? So the label, the data label again. I think the title color, sorry, we change it to white. Yeah. Okay. Then we go to our X-axis and change the title color to white. So our chart is almost ready. Change it to white. So the next thing we are going to take off normally, as we normally do, we take off the title header. Where's the title? Take off the title. Then we give it